Third game to finish today, the one between Veselin, Topalov and Hikaru, Nakamura. There was some content in this game. It seemed quite interesting, even perhaps in the final position with the two bishops.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I thought I was under pressure perhaps from the opening. Veselin played very quickly, but I found some good moves. I think f6 was very important with this idea to play rook takes d5, and then of course just to play bishop f7 with take on d4 and rook e8, and then it's just equal. I mean, okay, at the end maybe I can play on, but I didn't really see a point after rook e8, bishop e8. I think even queen e4, and I mean, okay, I think if I have a pawn on b7 instead of b6, I definitely play on, but with the pawn on b6 and this weakness on c6, I don't really think it can ever be very much, because if I have to go c5, there's always knight b5, and b5, I mean, it's obviously fine, but then white has no weaknesses, so, I mean, maybe I can play on, but I didn't really see the point, and so yeah, I mean, it's just normal.
Your impressions, Veselin?
Well, I think I could have played maybe a bit better in the opening. I'm not sure anyway. But it was very interesting because I missed the whole idea that black had a trick, so I had to change my plans, and obviously to exchange my bishop for the knight was not my original idea. But then I think I was a bit lucky because at some point it got a bit tricky even, so I had to be careful.
Now, perhaps a more general question about the frame of mind. When you draw the first game in such a short knockout tournament, in what kind of frame of mind do you come to the second game? Does white try to risk, or rather play it safer?
Well, my personal impression is I always prefer to start black with the black pieces if it's a two-game match. And it's better to start with white if it's 4 games match, because in a 2 games match, if you win, basically, especially in a slow chess, match is over. But if you lose, it's not. So but in a 4 games match, for example, you could, if you win game 1 with the white and game 3, basically you only play 1 game with the black pieces. But again, I don't have any preferences.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, exact same thing. I mean, in a 2-game match, you always want to start with black, because then generally you have the option with white of like just being safe or taking big risks. So it's always better in 2-game match to start with black, but of course you don't know, that almost never, or not never, but it probably happens 50% of the time, so that's just how it is.